Hey babe, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dale Pasco, and since you're here, I believe it's safe to say you love all things womanhood, femininity from a faith perspective, self-care, and all of the other amazing things that come up in conversation amongst healthy women. Today, I want to give you 5 ways to not lose yourself and to still enjoy your individuality in your covenant marriage. Before we get into this conversation, make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so that you can know when I post a video. I always love meeting new people, and I would love for you to connect with me or another social media platform of your choice. My name is the same across the board. Let's go ahead and get into these 5 ways to not lose yourself as a wife. So one thing I do as a wife is to have friends outside of my husband's immediate friend group. So we have a lot of friends that I'm close friends with the wife and he's close friends with the husband, and we all hang out together, groups of us at a time. However, I also have friends outside of that immediate group that I'm able to go and meet with that my husband definitely knows about. These are girlfriends that I have that we go on shopping dates together, we meet up for brunch, we travel, we do different things, and it just allows me to keep that sense of individuality. I think it can become a little draining when all of your friend groups are the same. You guys start doing everything the same. You lose yourself easily in that. And I've spoken with women who want to make friends outside of her husband's immediate friend group, but her husband will feel like it's kind of weird that she wants friends that he doesn't get to hang out with. And it's just like, why? Why can't you have those group of friends that you hang out with, especially if they're not steering you the wrong way, they're not tearing you down, they're not setting you up. You genuinely just love being around this person. Why is that a problem? You should be able to have friends that are just your friend. It just allows you to remember you're an individual even while you're in a union. Another thing you can do that will help you keep your individuality while being one with your spouse is taking yourself on dates. I know a lot of times we get married and we kind of like ditch that whole self-date idea, but I love taking myself out for brunch or dinner or even to a movie. For instance, if my husband was to be at work or if he's just simply at home chilling, I will get dressed up and I will go somewhere and simply enjoy time to myself. And I believe we need that. We can get married and lose those little things that we did before we got married. And hopefully before you got married, you were taking yourself on dates, you were pouring into yourself, and you were taking care of yourself the way that you would expect a man to. The next thing that you can do is to love yourself the way you desire to be loved. Now, on my podcast, She's So Soft, I actually did an episode on this very topic, just breaking down some ways that you're able to love yourself the way that you desire everybody else to love you. Because even going with statement number 2, there's so many times that we expect people to pour into us, to love us in certain ways that we don't even do it for ourselves. So make sure while you're married, you're still affirming yourself and that you're not just solely depending on the words of your husband. What if you guys go through a season where he's not really affirming you, where he's not really pouring into you, where he's not really gifting you, where he's not really trying to spend time with you? What are you going to do to make sure that doesn't break you down and you don't crumble under the weight of whatever may be going on in that season? So you want to make sure you are always loving yourself. You are the first person to love you as after God. And it's important that you don't depend solely on your spouse to love you, because there are times when your husband is going to fall short of loving you the way that you want to be loved. So if you're doing it, it won't feel like a blow. You'll be like, you know what? I'm good. Like, you didn't compliment me on my outfit today, but I know I look good. Is it nice to hear those things from your spouse or to receive those things? Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, don't be so dependent on them that you neglect yourself. The next one is enjoying time alone, that leisure time. whether that looks like you going to the beach, you taking a day of travel to yourself, going to your little book nook in your home and just enjoying some time alone. A part of enjoying that leisure time, again, is just allowing you to enjoy your being, enjoy yourself. It's allowing you to pour into yourself, to see what's going on, to simply just be, not doing anything, not expecting anything, not placing demands on other people, not hoping that other people treat you certain ways, but you're taking care of yourself. I see women who get married and they always have to be with their spouse all day, every day. They have to go to the same events. They have to hang out with the same people, spend every waking hour together. And it's just like, where's the individuality in that? And you can tell that that woman kind of loses herself in her spouse. She's only doing what her husband loves to do. She only goes where he likes to go. If you have a spouse who doesn't really care about, it's okay to have alone time. It's okay to make sure you're not so dependent to where you can't function without your husband. That's not healthy. The last thing I would say to make sure you don't lose your individuality in marriage is to live on purpose. I know that there are times when we can get married and being helpmeets, we feel like everything we do has to be centered around our husband's vision. But the truth is, God gave you a vision for your life as an individual as well. For me, as an example, I love all things womanhood. I pour into women every day. I enjoy mentoring women. I enjoy traveling with women. I enjoy creating spaces for women to thrive, for women to use their voice, for women to find their purpose. I have the platform, the Womanhood Academy, where I am able to do that. And that's God's vision for my life. But I know that there are some women who feel like their purpose is solely doing whatever their husband does. And I know that there are also women who their purpose, they believe, is being stay-at-home wives and mothers, and they totally thrive at it. They don't have a desire to work on the job. They don't have a desire to start a nonprofit. They simply want to raise their children and be home with their husbands. I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. You want to make sure you know what your purpose is so that you can live in it and you're not just existing. It's easy for a lot of women to just get caught up, especially when they're searching for purpose. We have a purpose, we have a reason that we're living, and one of the main ways to make sure you're not getting lost in your marriage is to make sure you are living in and on purpose. So I really do hope that these things helped you to find a way to start enjoying your individuality in marriage. And if you're not married yet, I hope that you take heed to some of these things and begin to practice them if you're not yet doing so, to make sure you go into your marriage with a mind that allows you to remember that although you are now one with someone else, you still have an individual call, you still have an individual purpose, you still have things that you enjoy doing, things that you don't like, places you may want to go that your spouse may not want to go. And it's perfectly okay. As long as you're not disrespecting the covenant that you made before the Father, it's okay to enjoy your life and to have friends and go spaces where your husband may not be. Like, it's okay to do that. I am Dale Pasco. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.